What's up, guys? It's Lewis at That Convention Guy Collectibles, and I got another little bit of a mail day I'll share with you. This one's actually a return from a send-in for an autograph session. Now, this is coming, I hate to butcher the last name, but John Zazullo. He's in one of my Facebook groups, and he runs a page where you can do consignments. And just like I like to go to conventions and get autographs and stuff, you just can't be at all of them at the same time. Most weekends, there's several shows going on across the country. So anyway, he was going to a convention where Kiefer Sutherland was going to be attending, and also Mary Lynn, I hate to mispronounce her name, but she played Chloe on 24 with Kiefer Sutherland's Jack Bauer. So I thought, you know what? I have these Displates. I've been wanting to get signed for my own personal collection. One's going to be a cast piece, and one was just a Jack Bauer piece. I already have probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 autographs from Kiefer Sutherland that I've gotten already on 2 different Displates, but it's just one of my favorite characters of all time. Between 24 and Sons of Anarchy, those are like my 2 favorite shows. And so whenever I can get some stuff, I always do. So anyway, so I sent this in to him. The convention that he went to sounded like a nightmare. Sounded like the Kiefer Sutherland line was extremely long. They gave out numbers. Then they started restricting how many pieces you could bring. And seeing as he does consignments, you know, people send him items to get signed. So I believe he had more than they allowed. So he actually had to ask people around him to get things signed as well. Then they told him they weren't going to do any quotes, and they just kept putting more and more rules because apparently Kiefer Sutherland just could not get through it all in time. So I wasn't even sure it was going to happen, but at the end of it all, he sent me a picture and said he got it done. He was so happy. And from the picture I saw, it turned out great. So let's see what it looks like in person. All right, start with this. Very cool piece. So this is just the Jack Bauer one. If I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead by now. Very cool. Hopefully, I will find some wall space for that. Don't know which wall, what room, but yeah. And then this is the 24 cast piece that I wanted to get done. And here you go. So first thing, we have the Kiefer Sutherland with his famous quote, "Damn it!" And then at the bottom, we have Mary Lynn, a.k.a. Chloe O'Brien. And so what I thought with this piece is that anytime I see any of the actors, you know, that show was on for, I think, like 8 or 9 seasons. Hard to remember because they stopped and they came back, and then they stopped again and they came back. But I think it was 9 seasons. And there's a lot of different people on that show. I'm going to be seeing Freddie Prinze Jr. In about 2 weeks, and he was on the show, so I'll have him sign. Sean Astin, who was, you know, for those of you who don't know, Goonies, Lord of the Rings, Rudy, you know, tons of different things. He was also on 24, and I'll be seeing him in a few weeks. Katie Sackhoff was on 24. Yeah, the list goes on and on and on and on. And so I thought, you know, it'd be a pretty cool thing every time I see somebody new to go ahead and add them to this, and that way it'll be kind of like a nice cast piece with lots of different memories. So, but yeah, so an awesome job by him to deal with the lines, deal with the weights, deal with the stress, and still get it done and get it done awesome. So I can't thank him enough for that. So that is that. I'll move these out of the way. I say it's strange because it was, the box is here, but it wasn't in the box. And they put the piece of cardboard between the box and the displate, but then nothing underneath it. So like somebody messed up on that. Anyway, this is a Superman displate. And what's cool about this is it says 85 years of Superman. And what I thought, again, is that this would make a really cool Superman cast piece. And not cast, but all of the different Supermen. I just saw Tom Welling, who was in Smallville, and he's actually the reason that I got this idea, because I wanted to have something for him to sign, and he's already signed my Smallville poster, and he's already signed, you know, some figures and things like that. But I've met Brandon Ruth before, and he signed a couple of things, and I thought, you know, it'd be pretty cool to have all of the different Supermen. Now, I know I'll probably never get Henry Cavill. I get that. That's okay. I have, you know, from Lois and Clark I can get, for Dean Cain I've seen before, again, Tom Welling, I can get Brandon Ruth. So I thought, worst case scenario, I have 4 Supermen. And who knows? I know that they just signed a new one, and while to me I'd like to keep Henry Cavill around, who knows? Maybe it'll be good. It's DC, so probably not, because their movies tend to be terrible, with the exception of the Dark Knight series, Dark Knight series. I don't know, whatever. The Batman stuff with Christian Bale. I did like Henry Cavill's Superman. I liked the first movie. I know a lot of people had issues with him killing Zod or whatever, but I thought it was perfectly fine. Didn't bother me. Anyway, so I thought this would make a really cool Superman-only signature piece. And then I thought that would look really cool, you know, next to my Superman statue back there. And anyway, I think that would look really cool. Now the only question will be like what color to get this signed in. And my initial thoughts were red, but actually I'm thinking blue is going to look even better. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to go with my aqua or if I'll go with just a standard blue. I think the standard blue might actually look better, even though I usually go with the aqua. But anyway, so that's what this is for. So moving on. I think I have one more. Yeah. Okay, so this one is actually from my brother. My brother, who lives in Deltona, Florida, wanted to get some autographs done when I was going to Steel City Con. The problem is they didn't arrive in time. And he's fully aware of that, and it's a bummer, but it is what it is. Sometimes, you know, there's delays in shipping. All right, so this, William Shatner, pretty cool. And so sometimes a feeling is all we humans have to go on. That's a pretty cool display. I like that. Unfortunately, like I said, it did not arrive in time. So it will have to be done at another convention, which is no problem because I see William Shatner at many of my conventions. So I got no issue with that. You can see already Celebrity Authentics, which is a great company that I buy stuff from. They do celebrity signings, and then oftentimes they just sell their items. Now this came from one of their sales called Seconds. All right, so Celebrity Authentics, they do private signings with celebrities, and oftentimes they have things that they put in their inventory. They also have auctions, and they also have sales. And this one was an auction, but it was a seconds auction. And what I've learned that to mean is that sometimes they have things that are a little imperfect. So maybe it's a poster with a few dimples, or a Funko Pop with a bent corner or something like that. And it's a good way to pick things up for a little bit less than you normally would if you wanted it perfect. And I found that like with Funko Pops, it's so hard to get them perfect anyway. They're so fragile that oftentimes it is a good deal. I purchased my Venom Pop signed by Tom Hardy, and I got it for a fraction of what it would have cost if I sent in my own Venom Pop to get signed, because I had a little dimple in the plastic, and I could live with that. So this was from that same sale, and I got this piece mainly to go with my statue. And I know what you're thinking. Well, didn't you already buy a piece to go with your statue? Yes, I did. So, as usual, my MO is usually to find something that I really like, purchase it, and then for whatever reason, I find something else that I like more, or once they know I'm a buyer, then they're like send me emails, and then all of a sudden there's something better, stuff like that. So that's kind of what happened with this one. But like I said, I got it on that second sale, so it was a lot cheaper than I expected it to be. So to me, it was a good deal, and it was almost one of these like, well, I can't afford not to buy it. And I just thought when you look at it, it goes perfectly with the Venom statue. And that is, let's see, bam, this amazing Venom 16 by 20, and it is signed by Tom Hardy. So that is pretty awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and walk it over to the Venom statue so you can see what I was thinking in my head. Now, the only problem with this is that the Venom statue is so big that it takes up a lot of the space. But when you look at that, I mean, that's just amazing. So there's the art print that I found at one of the conventions just a few weeks ago. But you can't really compare it, like that's just amazing. Oh, wrong way, there you go. That's just amazing. So to me, it was a no-brainer to upgrade that art print. Now, of course, the question will be, do I get that framed? Do I get it professionally framed? Or do I just buy an off-the-shelf frame and frame it myself? Because really, it's going behind a statue. It's not going to have, focused presence in the room. Like there's going to be so many other things that you're not going to focus specifically on this. I have another Tom Hardy piece that I did get professionally framed, and that's in the movie theater room. So it has like its own spot. It's like, whoa, look at this nice poster type of thing. This one is, to go with the statue. So I don't know if I want to spend $300, $400 to get it professionally framed. But I might. I don't know. Maybe when I go to the framer and see if they're running any specials. Who knows? But anyway, that is my piece. Again, I'm like sitting here looking at it. I'm just like, dude, I love this thing. This is really cool. So anyway, that's my mail day for today. Thank you for watching another video. Again, if you haven't already done so, please like that video, like this channel. It really helps support the channel. Right now, I mean, it doesn't support me. Like I'm not getting any money from it or anything like that. But at least it lets me know that, hey, there's other people out there that enjoy watching the content, seeing the collections, seeing the items. But, it helps to get the support from you guys so that you can see like, okay, there's people out there that enjoy this. It's not a waste of my time. That kind of thing. And who knows? Maybe one day I'll do like the Lord of the Rings museum on Boundary Lane and open it up for people to come visit. Maybe I'll get a guest book or something. But yeah, so if you haven't already done so, like the channel, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. And I've been going to a lot more stuff lately, and I have a lot more stuff. And with the new room, updating the collection videos and things like that, so there's a lot of content coming. So definitely subscribe if you want to see some of the other crazy stuff that I have in here. So for now, guys, that's it. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Dragon Con coming up. See you there.